Collaboration isn't just people working in the same place at the same time. At its deepest, it's about shared purpose, mutual trust, collective intelligence, and the conditions that make all of that possible. Most tools are built for coordination, assigning tasks, tracking progress. But Catalist is built for something more challenging and more meaningful. Genuine collaboration across time, across organizations, and across the boundaries that usually keep communities siloed. Every collaboration starts with context. Who's in the room, what the space is for, and how it's structured. These aren't just administrative details. They're the conditions that determine whether real collaboration happens or doesn't. For example, when looking at other members, you're not just seeing names, you're seeing who that person is within the context of this space, such as what they need, what they have to offer, and the specific areas they're involved in. That context changes how people show up. In addition, every member has a space profile that's distinct from their main Catalist account. The same person shows up differently here than they would in another space, because different contexts call for different aspects of who we are. The space itself is organized around collaboration. Along with all the ways content can be structured, custom groups put people in the right places for the right purposes. Member roles make responsibilities clear, and custom onboarding questions shape the culture before anyone even arrives. And wherever you are in Catalyst, whatever space you're in, you're also connected to something larger. Not only all of the other spaces and communities, but the global commons itself. The commons holds the shared purpose and collective knowledge of the entire network. Your collaboration here isn't isolated. It's part of something bigger. Knowledge built collectively compounds over time in ways no single person could create alone. In Catalyst, contribution is open to everyone in the space. You can see on any item who added it and when. Provenance travels with every contribution. This both gives credit where it's due, and it encourages people to add, knowing their work won't disappear or get co-opted. How people contribute can be shaped by the space itself. The settings let you define who can add, what types of things belong here, and what the default flow looks like. This allows the space to stay coherent, rather than becoming a dumping ground. Conversation stays attached to what it's about. Notes live on the item, not in a separate chat thread that nobody goes back to. That's where real sense-making happens. In context, accumulated over time, never lost. Mechanisms like upvoting make collective preferences visible without requiring a meeting. The community's signals rise naturally to the surface. And the design of item types adds a layer of nuance. For example, having a list of problems and a separate list of solutions is a way of focusing collective intelligence. The community isn't just adding things. It's thinking together in categories that make the connection between ideas visible and surface what was previously unseen. Every community has a hidden network of relationships and connections that nobody has ever mapped. Catalyst makes it visible and navigable. On any item, you can create a connection, a relationship, a suggestion, a link between two things that belong together. For example, if one organization can help another, that insight doesn't have to stay in someone's head. It gets captured, becomes visible for others to see, and best of all, initiates potential action. But connections aren't just something you explicitly create. They're already inherently there in the structure of the space, waiting to be followed. For example, you may see a write-up of an interesting project, which leads you to a valuable resource. You follow that thread to the person who wrote it, which you then follow to the organization that produced it. That thread could lead you to a project they support, where you find someone involved with that project that you've never heard of, who turns out to be exactly who you needed to find. Request a connection, and you're on your way. That's the invisible network becoming navigable. If we're talking about connections, there's even a way for you to view every connection all at once using the graph view. And the network doesn't stop at the edges of one space. Each item carries its history with it. You can see which other spaces it belongs to and even navigate directly there. Collaboration without decision-making is just discussion. Catalist gives communities the tools to move from conversation to collective choice. For example, communities can vote on which projects they'd like to support or which resources to prioritize. Groups can vote on what topics to tackle next, all without scheduling a meeting. Poll results are visible to everyone in real time, making collective preference tangible rather than assumed. The group's voice surfaces naturally, and everyone can see where things stand. Every community has more to offer itself than it knows. The problem is making it visible and actionable. Catalist provides the ability to surface needs, offers, opportunities, and requests that can show up in multiple formats. For example, they can live on member profiles as custom fields, or in special collections of needs and offers. The beauty is they're not buried in a form somewhere. The community's latent capacity becomes something you can actually see and navigate. And these don't just sit there. Built right into every need and offer are the tools to act on them. You can save ones that are relevant to your own work, connect directly with the person who posted it, or even suggest a connection between two members whose needs and offers align. This closes the loop without a coordinator having to hold it all. Bonus, there's also a brand new interface built specifically for this, designed for groups doing this work in real time, whether in a live session or asynchronously. It's fast, visual, and purpose-built for the matching moment. And because it connects directly with the core Catalist app, everything stays synced. And like everything in Catalist, needs and offers can be public or private. The best collaboration doesn't require everyone in the room at the same time. Notes persist on items over time. Come back to something that was active a year ago, and the full chain of insights, perspectives, expertise, and collaborators is still there. And your entire notes library is searchable in one place, so you can find things through your thoughts and ideas, not just through the items themselves. Space hashtags let the community surface its own patterns over time. Not a top-down taxonomy, but the vocabulary that emerges organically from what members actually care about. There's also an activity thread that keeps everyone oriented. A running record of what's been added, discussed, or happened while you were away. Jump back in exactly where the collaboration left off. Beyond the features and the functions, there's an inner core of what this tool is built for. At its deepest, collaboration means building something that outlasts any single event, meeting, or member. A commons that compounds, getting richer with every contribution. Each person, each space, and each network contributing to something larger than itself for the benefit of all involved. Our existing tools weren't designed for this kind of collaboration. Catalist is. Catalist is built in partnership with the communities it serves. If this resonates, let's talk.